We're live. I'm early. Hey guys, Rorius here. I saw some people in the chat, like hanging around. And I kind of wanted to start early today, so I started early. Hey. And I see some chat things that have happened a while ago. Where Rory are the Rory. Dear. Pardon me. Okay, so basically, uh, first of all, I need to thank Amy for buying this for me on Steam ages ago. Amy bought this for me with the intention of me like returning to it, because I originally played the Epic Game Store version, but then yeah Amy bought the Steam version for me, and I've been meaning to come back to it for a long time. And as you'll see along the side here, I've played it in my own time. Pardon me. I played a little bit of it. Well, played a little bit of it. I played the main story again in my own time, just to like unlock extra stuff, and for the most part, the main game is exactly the same. There's a few minor tweaks to the levels, usually to just like fix weird problems here and there. Oh, hey Tiana. I should say, hey Zach, Polo, Nick. Thank you all for coming. But yeah, the big thing that wasn't there when I originally played it, pardon me, I'm burping from my breakfast. The big thing that wasn't there that wasn't there when I originally played it, is the developer commentary mode. So I thought we'd go through the game, as much as I can in the time I have. We'd try and go through the game and listen to the developer commentary. I think you might like this. Yeah, I love the game. Wait, you are a developer for Superliminal? No, I'm not. It's interesting. Superliminal is the name of an achievement in this game. It's one that I just got the other day. Yeah, you spelled it. You spelled it the way the achievement spells it, which is for finishing the game in under 30 minutes. Superliminal. But yeah, no, I'm not a developer for Superliminal. I wish. I wish I was clever enough to come up with something like Superliminal's mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, so before the stream I had breakfast. It's the invisible. It's invisible. Ooh. I had breakfast. Yeah, that's a weird coincidence. um, and which one of you is General Kenobi? Hello there. There's a few General Kenobis here. General Tiana. Paul Stone from Area 51. I haven't watched you for a while. For some reason I'm excited to start again. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, let's get into induction. I only have
Hello and welcome to
a little under 2 hours.
Developer Commentary. I'm Albert, Game Director of Superliminal. Myself and the rest of the team will be popping up every now and then as you play. With subtitles open, you can see who is talking and what their role on the game is.
Yeah, I have about an hour and 50 minutes to stream today. So we're gonna have to we'll get through as much of it as we can. I might not be able to actually finish the developer commentary.
We'll make your dreams come true.
Is that different from the main game? That sounded different. Yeah, it's good to see you around again, Che.
Hi, my name's Chris.
Ooh.
I was the producer and designer on Superliminal.
Hi, this is Will O'Neill, and I was the writer on Superliminal.
Okay, so that very beginning of Superliminal is actually one of the last parts we finished. Throughout development, we created so many different introductions to the game. Not all of them were cutscenes, like that one, But we ended up feeling that that in-game video sequence offered a really smooth on-ramp that let us set the framework for what's to come. By keeping it grounded in the world rather than just a video, we felt it to be a good way to get you situated in the game and aware of what's up.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna boost the audio. I just remembered I had it toned down before.
So when I wrote the opening line of "Are you filled with feelings of self-doubt" at the beginning of the game, I was definitely envisioning a player immediately, unconsciously responding with yes. And of course, the purpose of that is to sort of pull you into the idea that you're not playing a character in the game. It's you inside this experience. And of course, making it clear that the clinic itself is not necessarily the safest or most prestigious place to get treated creates an immediate tension, especially when the very first thing you do in the game is accidentally sign away all of your rights.
Yeah, that's good.
A lot of people ask about how the resizing mechanic works. The concepts are actually quite easy. To keep an object looking the same, assume if we move the object twice as far away, it just needs to be twice as big. It's all proportional. Interestingly enough, this also works no matter what field of view you use. The hard part of this mechanic isn't the actual resizing. It's trying to figure out where the object needs to be.
Yeah.
To do this, you need to test a weirdly shaped object with a weirdly shaped background, and trying to find the right ratio for the object to be big enough to not touch anything, while keeping everything accurate and optimized.
Yeah.
This orientation will adapt
Hey,
you
this is
to
Matt. I did the
Yeah,
music and
this-
sound.
induction dream state in which you
Oh.
retain full
This very first jazz piece in the game is called I Wonder, and if it sounds at all familiar to you, that's because you just heard its melody and chord progression in the Somnoscope TV jingle back at the start of the game,
Right.
which I called Smooth Wonder.
Right. Yeah, no, the sizing mechanic is definitely the most interesting thing. It's like, how do they achieve that? Yeah, from my perspective, the way I imagined it is that you just have to be constantly firing a ray casting out from the player's vision to the maximum possible location that this object can be, and determine the scale based on that. So the object will have some sort of like base scale and like distance when you originally pick it up. So like this object here is at a certain distance as a default, and then it just centers itself on your screen in as close to the size as it already was. Yeah, size being equivalent to distance. And then from there you're constantly raycasting out from the player's vision to see what the object is no longer physical. You're just raycasting out to see what the maximum distance is, and then yeah, you need to resize it and place it in the world where you think it should be. Sounds simple, but it's fucking complicated. It's a complicated concept.
Hi, I'm Logan, and I'm level designer on Superliminal. A difference with the main resizing mechanic in this game is how much freedom it gives the player. This puzzle is a good example. In most puzzle games, if you put an object on a button in this scenario, the object doesn't need to be moved anymore. The key to unlock the door removes the key from the problem space. But unfortunately, in our game, you can just turn around and grab the object from any distance away.
Yeah.
Therefore, we've gotten good at adding barriers in many places so people won't carry an object through all puzzles forever.
Right, yes. Yeah, you can't just go up here, grab it again. It's a barrier to stop you from doing that.
Confirmed. You can move freely, interact with surrounding objects, and listen to messages from your patient care team.
Just tell
Please
me
note that I am the standard
to steal it if you
orientation
can't
protocol,
see it
and
on
that
the
my voice
invisible.
has been explicitly chosen to remind you that I am not a part of your patient care team. I do not care.
Oh, hey Jonas. Why am I very mean?
Hi, my name is Alex, and I performed gameplay programming on Superliminal. When I joined the project, there weren't really any menus except the absolute bare minimum to get the player into the game, and there wasn't any keyboard support either.
No keyboard support.
So the first order of business was to add proper mouse and keyboard support to the title and pause menus. The hardest part was supporting switching between the two on the fly, because you never know when the player is going to do it, and it could lock them out of the game. With that foundation laid, I started working on controller support. In terms of the menus, there wasn't much work to do. The pad basically acts like a keyboard. But gameplay was quite a different story. As we approached launch, we all agreed that controller support wasn't quite up to par, and so we shipped without it, adding it around a month after launch.
Right.
To make controllers feel as good as mouse and keyboard, I wrote a bunch of code to modify how controller input is interpreted. For mouse
no
and keyboard,
VC.
Input is more or less one
No
to one
VC
match to
today.
player movement. So you move the mouse and the camera turns. But that doesn't feel good with controllers.
I'm not late.
Trying to
You're
pick up
late.
a very small object, say a chess piece.
I actually started early, so it's all good.
In the end, I made it so looking around accelerates the longer the stick is pressed, and behaves differently based on whether you are looking vertically or horizontally, and also while you are holding an object. Probably the biggest change was a quote-unquote auto-lock feature, which draws the focus to a grabbable object as your cursor gets closer to it.
Right.
All these changes culminated in controllers feeling much more accurate and satisfying.
Right, like it's like a auto aim or like an aim assist kind of deal, but
Throughout
for
each
grabbing
level, we
objects.
try to give subtle hints on which objects are grabbable and which aren't. This is more of an introductory level, so it doesn't have a lot of objects. But you might notice that grabbable objects, in yellow, are complementary colors to the background colors of green and beige.
Please
Right.
complete the remaining orientation activities.
He's not going to start talking again? No? Okay.
There's quite a bit of foreshadowing throughout this level.
Right, yes.
We wanted to hint at the mechanics that are going to come later in the game. For example, the projection, the clone, and the portal hallways later on. Little things like that feel like visual treats when you're playing this level, but serve as fun reminders when you play for a second time that we kind of told you the whole thing all along.
Yeah.
Hi there, I'm Steve. I'm the art director of Superliminal.
Ooh.
One of our main visual touches
Sorry, I'm just
in
really
this section
fascinated.
centers around a couple of silly questions. What would someone in the early 90s dream up as a futuristic testing facility? And how could they build that on a shoestring budget but with infinite time? I feel like those two questions were ones we actually asked ourselves more than once during the process of making this game.
A variable degree of force can and will be authorized to ensure patient safety. Please return to the orientation pathway.
I thought there might be a developer commentary if I touch the the soda machine. No? Okay.
When we were playtesting, we realized that players were getting tripped up on different aspects of the resize mechanic. So we tried to make each puzzle in this level teach a specific action. The cheese puzzle is our way of forcing players to make something from very small to very big, and the puzzle after that is the opposite. This broken window puzzle is to teach you how to make things small and fit through a hole, but at a distance, so you can't simply walk up to it.
Yeah.
All environments perceived during eyelids should reflect a typical mental state. If you believe
Yeah,
your
this-
mental state
I will
was
say this
compromised
game's
by
pretty well
somnascope,
taught.
Please
Like-
provide a comprehensive, rational explanation in your post-procedural survey. Completed surveys
Overall,
may be
this
eligible
game
for a
teaches
gift
you the
card.
mechanics pretty well.
We had this looping hallway for a while, but it was very nondescript and players got confused on where they were and they would get turned around. So our artist Steve helped mock up some windows and landmarks
Yes.
so people can tell where they are. Immediately, we found that playtesters weren't getting lost anymore and understood the moment.
Yeah, I mean it is having the like blue and the red as like ways to tell where you're popping out does immediately alleviate any sort of confusion as to what's going on.
Our core game mechanic is so novel that we immediately drew comparisons to other quasi-sci-fi puzzle games. And since our game is about playing with and subverting expectations, we wanted to lean into that and start the first level with a kind of test chamber aesthetic and immediately break that going forward. Narratively, this space is what Dr. Pierce planned to have his dream therapy program look like before it all went wrong.
Please stand by for polite recognition
Yeah.
on your completion.
I've played
of
this game
Somnascope
enough now
orientation.
that I know
You
like
did it.
every puzzle
To maximize the time
solution,
allotted
like
for your
immediate
therapeutic
solution.
journey, please do not delay in proceeding through
That
the
doesn't
final
work,
doorway
no.
as indicated.
But there's these panels on the side. I think that one is that one of the ones that doesn't fall over? There's a few that don't. I usually try and knock down as few as possible so that it doesn't impede anything. I'll just check around to see if there's any there's any no developer commentaries out here. Okay. I don't know if there's gonna be any developer commentaries in the like secret areas of this game. Some of the secret areas I've not been able to reach myself. I've got a bunch of Easter eggs. Like just there, I just missed a secret that I could have potentially. There could have potentially been a developer commentary note in there, but I missed it. Oh, other sponsors. I've got a glass of no sugar Coke. And I've got leftover Chinese food to my left. I'm not going to show it on the camera, but I've got leftover Chinese food.
The reason we ended up with this sleep clinic section is because we wanted to convince players that they might have actually woken up from the dream. So we don't have any dreamlike mechanics you can play with until you get to the vending machine.
Yeah.
Later on, this becomes a hub you
got all
come
the
back
things.
to in order to emphasize the feeling of waking up from a dream within a dream.
Yeah. So yeah, you walk down the hall and boom, you're in the next dream.
We want the first moment of people walking into this hallway to feel different from other first-person puzzle games.
Yeah, I like it. I really like this one.
To feel surprisingly warm, which helps make it feel a little bit surreal and a little bit odd.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, we're bouncing between these two feelings, the feelings of warmth and coldness.
Yeah, I really like this level. Just visually, mainly.
So, my brief for the jazz part of this soundtrack was always to do my best to emulate the iconic solo jazz piano sound of the great Bill Evans. For that, I listened to an album called Alone. My process was to try to compose my own superliminal jazz standards. I fleshed out the first chorus and melody. Later on, I workshopped and recorded with my good friend John Reeves. And I'm so glad I did because his piano skills are so much better than mine.
His voice had a weird quality in it in that recording. It sounded almost like he was about to cry. Ooh. I love this level. I love all the weird shit that happens in this level. Whoa. Right now in RuneScape. Ah, yep. Longest. I love the loading times where they like keep extending, keep getting bigger and bigger. Any developer commentary nodes in here? No. Okay. One second. I'm gonna go up to the middle area. No? Damn. Okay, it looks like they might not... They're not planning to put any in the secret areas. See, like, in Half-Life, in some of the Half-Life developer commentary stuff, like, they would have developer commentary nodes in the secrets. So I wasn't sure if the Superliminal guys were gonna do that too. Doesn't look like it. I never touch the radios anymore, but they always auto-activate as soon as you walk
My name
through
is Dr.
certain
Colin
areas.
Peters, and I'd like to talk to you about being special. So special, in fact, that we have no idea where you are. But not to worry, we're working on it.
Yeah. Where's the... It's suddenly like no nodes. I'm like, where are all the nodes? Where are all the developer commentary nodes? There we go. Yeah, I love it when the like you're waiting for the load screen thingy, and the bar like keeps keeps getting longer. Yeah. I don't know why, but that just is so. It's one of those like fear things when playing video games. That'll just keep going.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I was the principal artist on Superliminal. Optical's pink hotel hallway was the first area we nailed down visually and served as a starting point for how we approached the art for the rest of the game. We wanted enough decoration for it to be interesting to the player, yet it couldn't have too much visual noise, or else the player would get lost and overwhelmed. We made interactable objects the complementary color of the surrounding environment, which helped them pop more and feel more important. After we were happy with how this part of the game felt, the rest of the locales came together much quicker, and we required less iteration.
Yeah, definitely that. I think when I think of Superliminal, I think of the red carpeted hotel look. That's usually what I think about when I think of
Hello.
when I think of the
My
game.
name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'm just popping in to give you a quick update on where you are.
We still
We
don't
still
know.
don't know, but please keep moving forward, and hopefully you prefer frequent updates to being reminded that you are completely lost.
Okay, where is it? There it is. Alright, 1 second. I just remembered. I'll just check, just in case. Once again, I don't think they're going to be doing it by the looks of it, but... let's grab that. Let's just see if I can stand on it. I don't remember how I got up to here last time. I think I used the shelves. Yeah, nah, they're not doing secrets. Part of me's a little bit disappointed by that. I kind of wanted to do the secrets.
Hi, my name is Phil Fortier.
Hi, this is Gay Ben.
I was the graphics programmer on Superliminal, and I also worked on some of the Easter egg design.
Ah.
So in this warehouse, you'll notice that there are actually 4 exits to the room, and the level geometry on the other side of the exits would actually overlap if it existed in real space. So to make the level design a little easier, we used our portal tech here. So the exits to the room, when you leave the room, are actually in vastly different physical locations within the level, but hopefully it should be all seamless for the player.
Yeah. This game uses a lot of world portals.
Before you grab the moon in the next room, please notice that it looks quite far away. An interesting fact is that it actually isn't that far at all. But because the moon's position is moving with your position, it seems to be infinitely far away.
Yeah, they just bound it to the player's movement, so like it's always like at the same location.
This puzzle has the problem of requiring the room to not have a ceiling, which resulted with players wanting to escape the room.
Of course.
In a later update, we added a secret area above this room and a bunch of other secret areas based on where we saw players going.
Yeah, I've been up there now. You can do that, of course, because you have stuff like this. There's a blueprint up there. If you're a collector like me, you want to get the blueprint. Wait. I need to go like. Wait. How did I do this last time? I don't think, once again, I don't think there's going to be a note up there. But, there it is. There we go. So you can get up to the top. And the sky is just an illusion. Some of these secrets are actually super easy to get to once you understand the mechanics of the game. Yeah, and there's a blueprint up here. It's one of the collectible things.
The blueprints are one of the secrets that we add to the game, and if you find them all, you'll unlock a special secret. The diagrams are actually top-down, wireframe views of parts of the levels.
This is literally the level. Yeah, this is literally the level we're in, I believe. I believe all the blueprints are wireframe versions of areas of the levels you're in, you know, the levels you go through.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In the event that this elevation
yeah,
does not wake you up,
I'll try and
please
find like
don't
one of
interact
each of
with
the
anything that
things
strikes
throughout
you
the
as
game
psychologically
if it's gonna trigger a developer commentary for each of them. Oh, we've got 8 other people. Cool. I will say we haven't had as much of a turnout this time as last time, but I think the majority of the people who have joined up are people from the community in some way. So the
This is an
I'll
automated
just quickly
message
check.
for all patients who attempted to use an alternate pathway to access the next phase of Somnasculpt therapy, but who have become trapped in a dream state paradox instead.
I don't know why it is, but people really like finding gaps in the walls and crawling into them. For our trickiest hidden spaces in the game,
Easter egg.
we added literal Easter eggs for people to find.
Yeah.
Because that's what made sense at the time.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of literal Easter eggs throughout the game, but you don't have to find them. These don't give you any achievements or anything. They're just there as like oh, you found a weird place. Here's an Easter egg. Some of the Easter eggs though are some of the hardest things to get to, and some of them I have not been able to get to myself. Because they're just way too hard. I always walk in here expecting to see something, but then there's nothing ever there. The hell was I saying before? Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, as far as I can tell, all the people who have signed up are people that are either from the community or, like, my students or something. Like, last time what happened is, of the like, 50 people that signed up, like, you know, a handful of them were our people. And I think a couple of them were my students, but they didn't end up submitting anything. But, like, the majority of the rest of the, like, let's say 40 people who signed up, only, like, 2 or 3 of them actually submitted anything in the end. So, I'm hoping that we're going to have basically the same amount of submissions as last time, or a very similar number of submissions. Because we got mostly... Because we had like 11 submissions last time. So I'm hoping we'll get around, like, if we have 8 people, or 9 people including me, we'll have close to 9 submissions, I'm hoping. I got a friend to join, no idea if he'll get something out though. Right, yeah.
So the
Oh, yeah.
standard
Hey, Rocky.
orientation protocol character is obsessed with proper orientation, and that makes her kind of thematically antagonistic to the idea of truth being, you know, intrinsically tied to perspective. But to me, the fun part of it was writing her as being cruel without there being any actual malice to it. Like, she has nothing against you personally. Her programming simply can't see beyond proper orientation as being the only thing of any value to a Somnasculpt patient whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, she's quite aggressive in that fact.
An early challenge we had for creating the art for Cubism was how to approach the space and make sense of it. We started taking it a bit too literally. For example, how could we make sense of the door being so high up? Why would it be built this way? The solution we arrived at was simply not to make sense of it, because it shouldn't. We created a simple museum aesthetic that wouldn't get in the player's way of experimenting with and enjoying the puzzles. Sometimes, keeping it simple is the way to go.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an abstract, like, surrealist space. So, honestly, leave it surrealist. Anything hidden in this room? I like being able to move light sources.
Professional tip.
Between the colorful dream spaces, we have these, what we call back areas. These back areas serve as the backdrop to everything. They are where the dream spaces are built, and also the service hallways in between them. We wanted to give them a colder, darker feel to contrast with other spaces in the game. But we also wanted to keep a man-made feel, as if people were just here moving things, creating these spaces, doing work a second before you arrived.
Yeah, it reminded me a little of Charlie Kaufman's Synecdoche, New York. That idea of building a world inside of another world.
Right, yeah.
Originally, we had little plaques indicating exhibits within the museum, but we felt it was a little bit too on the nose, so to speak. You are the main exhibit, so I imagine the players wandering around a game with an exhibit plaque hanging around their necks.
I see. Fair enough. By the way, because I got all the fire extinguishers, my fire extinguishers now shoot flame. I got all these as well, all the fire alarms. Right, yes. It's this level. I do love all the variants in mechanics.
Please note that a reluctance to volunteer for the risks associated with explosive mental overload implies a misunderstanding of all other solutions, all of which are far more traumatic.
Not all of our interesting perspective moments can be built into puzzles. Some are just great moments that break your expectations. This level interprets a cube in multiple different ways, and even though none of these are difficult puzzles, they all work together to create a whole series of back-to-back surprise moments. It was fun finding the balance of making it feel like someone was messing with you, without making it feel like the cube is sentient.
Yeah, I do so enjoy the strange. If you bring this with you, oh, I didn't want it to be entirely vertical. You can get up here. That's too vertical, isn't it? Nope, never mind. And you got another blueprint. We need to find ourselves a constellation or a chess piece, if there are any. Well, the problem is I've collected all the chess pieces. I wonder if I can recollect a chess piece to get the developer commentary to, like, talk about it. Little pops on when grabbing, moving things. Yes, it's very like relaxing in that kind of way. That's a way to fight fire with fire. Yeah, yeah. Flaming thingy, flaming extinguisher.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and despite touring the Waterfall Serenity
This
Zone,
level came about because we explored the idea of the game being an anthology of different stories, one
Right.
story for each level. This level was the horror level, and I immediately knew what it would be about, getting the player to be scared of their own shadow. None of the scares are actually real, but the player doesn't know that right away. We scrapped the anthology idea, but this level worked so well that we kept it. One aspect we wanted to explore and draw from was movie scene cuts. Basically, how a match cut in a movie might make sense in a game.
Right,
This next
there's a
moment is a
door.
good example. Carefully watch
Boop.
the cloud in the distance.
It's gone.
You'll see that it cuts to a new scene.
Yeah. And then you go, yeah, like this is another, oh.
Boo.
Boo. Yeah, yeah. Because it just, the door shuts on you. Like how the developer commentary note was just boo. Alright. I frequently forget what part I'm up to, and therefore forget the solution in this area. I don't know why. I think it's just because of the dark. Speedrunning this part to get the achievement was a little tricky. It's just the, yeah, it's the death floor. I memorized the solution. Yeah, I'll see if I can find a Constellation Room and see if they have a developer commentary note in there.
hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk.
Did
more
I miss
about
the
feelings
Constellation?
of
I did miss the
worthlessness and
Constellation Room in
self-doubt
this
I mentioned before.
chapter.
You feel this way because you want the kind of happy life you see all around you, the kind you know everyone else is enjoying.
What else is there? There's
And
the
that's exactly
oh, and the
why
chess
we're here
pieces.
to help.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find myself a chess piece. But see if I can remember where the chess pieces were, and see if I can find one again.
Warning, you were advised
The
to
object
subject
used in
yourself
this
to
puzzle was
exposure
originally a
risk
flashlight,
by descending
but
into a
unfortunately,
dream.
because of
Right.
how the mechanic works, it always placed the flashlight at the end of the room, which is not a particularly useful position for a flashlight. We tried a couple of things, but finally decided to switch to an object that could glow from both ends.
Yeah. You kind of want something that just glows. Ideally, you'd want omnidirectional. But, like a lantern. But this works just as well. Oh, wait, wasn't one of them... Oh, one of them was up this stack of boxes. That's right. Wait, can I get... I think I have to use a sign to get up there. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, I hate that. Okay, I need to get this bigger again. Ah. No! Stop it! Wait, can I go around this way? I don't think it helps. Damn it. I did this way easier last time. That's better. Now where the heck was it? It was like somewhere right here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get them to say anything about it because I already have all of them. I believe it was just up here. It was just on top of this stack here. But yeah, I already collected it, so never mind, I suppose. I won't be able to get them to talk about the chess pieces. Did this part seem scary at first? Yeah, it was spooky. It was spooky. No, I wouldn't say scary. It was just it has all the tropes of being scary. And I got a little nervous, I think.
Unintentional multi-dream layering occurs in less than 1% of patients.
When I prototyped this part, there was going to be a shadow of a monster on the wall that turned out to be a bunch of random objects when the lights turned on. The shadow always looked silly though, so eventually the reveal became the blood actually being red paint.
Yes.
This room is one of the biggest technical challenges we had in the game.
Originally, this was one huge room, but turning our dynamic lights all on abruptly killed the frame rate, so we ended up chopping the room into smaller areas so we could hide and unhide objects from the player's view once the lights turned back on. This will lessen the amount of objects getting hit by lights at a given time, thus saving on performance.
Yeah, I remember Phil even tried teleporting the player to a completely new room, but that change-up was a bit too visually obvious, and we eventually realized that chopping up the room was the answer.
This is another spot that there was a... This was another spot where there was a chess piece. It was like right out here. Yeah, no, it's not gonna let me do it. Alright. All good. Damn it. Come on, there we go. The heck? It's... Okay. Yeah. This is good for... I thought it would be a good idea to do a developer commentary kind of thing shortly before we did the game jam, just to get into the like game development mindset. Ooh.
We wanted to do a unique alarm clock for each level, but this is the only one that survived that idea.
Huh. I like the unique alarm clock thing. But yeah, I imagine it would be... You know what? I would have... That That would have been cool, actually. I like that idea. They should have made it different alarm clocks, as in like one of the levels. It's literally an old bell alarm clock with a little bell dinging instead of having it be one of the alarm clocks instead of the beep 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 beep. There wasn't any nodes down there. No, I didn't miss anything. Aren't my mouth sounds just perfect? I don't think there's gonna be anything here just yet. There might be something here. Yeah, perfect.
Part of breaking expectations is changing your definition of an object. A door, which usually keeps people out, becomes a flight of stairs if it is cloned enough times.
Yeah. It's funny because I never really understood how to solve these levels when I originally played them.
Dr. Pierce requires you to
But I've
note the
learned,
following risks of dream
having played them
overexposure.
again,
Yeah,
I've
so
learned
this,
the proper
right-click to
solutions.
return sign that I bet you didn't even notice is one of the most unread signs in the game. It comes up later, and it's also one of the most unread signs in the game there too.
That's funny. It's so useful though. The right click to reset is so useful. Like when you're doing shit for like for instance, there's a chess piece like up on the roof here, and getting to it using this and then just right clicking to return it to like clean the space up is so useful. Normally I just sort of do this to solve the puzzle, and then I just sort of climb up the space, although I made that a bit too big. But what you can also do is just that. And rise yourself up. It's, yeah. I love this little hallway. I wish you kept the little smiley face thingy on your cursor for longer.
Let's talk about the smiley face.
Yeah.
Because our goal was to break people's expectations, we prototyped a lot of weird moments like these. Some of them didn't work because they felt too meta. They would actually take people out of the game experience. This one, however, stayed because it was just subtle enough and playful enough that you could see it as a bout of insanity.
Aside from the core resizing mechanic, I think cloning the objects is one of the more immediately enjoyable mechanics that we put into the game. When we ran playtests, this one would always have people smiling.
Yeah, it's fascinating, but this level was incredibly frustrating. I remember, I don't remember exactly how I solved it originally, but you can solve this with a single clone. It's unnecessary to clone it more than once. That's the solution. I remember struggling with that level in the original. By the way, I originally streamed this. So if you want to see my original reaction to Superliminal, there should be a playlist with the... Actually, this stream is about to go into that playlist, the Superliminal playlist. I originally streamed it, and then I did one episode finishing it off, basically. And...
Numerous
yeah.
spelling and grammar mistakes into the
When I first
standard
played
orientation
it, I
protocol,
struggled
a
with that
desperate
level
attempt to
so
counsel
hard.
I have no subroutine to correct these errors, but I cannot compromise the integrity of the standard orientation protocol. You will not receive these messages. They would not make sense regardless.
See, like, the right click to reset is so good. Oh, there's an item in here actually I'd like to... There's an item on here I'd like to be able to hop on top of... Okay, wait, no, I'll do it the way I've done it before. Make a little tower of them. There we go. There's a secret item over here. Boop. It's a banana. I felt like I had to go get it. You know, given the channels. Given channel memes and things. Massive banana. The glorious banana.
Attention, Dr.
And then, of
Pierce
course, you do
continues to
this.
Input significant errors. I will interpret his basic ideas.
It
Hello. My introductions are redundant. I am a real doctor who went to doctor school. VR has never been a mistake. I can help you, but I also do
in the
not know how.
trash.
Transmission ends.
Players may notice the motif of the repeating purple hallway found throughout Clone.
Mm.
We wanted the player to have this feeling of, have I been here before? This seems pretty familiar. But
As
we
if it's being
didn't want it
cloned.
to be too easy, or to be 100% unclear. So we introduced differences such as lighting, prop placement, and hallway length. That way, for most players, it was something chewing away at the back of their minds, as opposed to being blatantly obvious.
Right.
Lots of credit here to Max Hoarth, who plays the role of
Dr.
Dr.
Glenn
Pierce,
Pierce.
for really nailing this bizarre line in an impressively short number of takes. We were totally prepared to have him record the words in like their logical order and rearrange them after the fact, but his performance of doing it correctly, incorrectly, was phenomenal.
Let's have a listen.
Hello, name is my Pierce Dr. Glenn. To the Somnosculpt Welcome Experience, team of your care leader patient years 10 development. Conditions struggle you whatever with? Professional invention. Edge science with cutting, a tomorrow can bright. And buts, no ifs, or luck good.
That's cool. That's cool that he did actually like did it fully. Like he just did it. He just read it out perfectly. It's cool to learn. Wait, is my chat broken, or is it just no one's chatted for a while? Just want to make sure that I'm not missing stuff. Say oh, I know. Say avocado if you're still here. This is the secret room that I unlocked by getting everything. That's another secret room that I unlocked for getting things. Avocado. Okay, good. Like it's totally understandable. This game is like especially in developer commentary mode, it's very much like
This room kind of happened by
an
accident.
experience.
We originally just put a cloud video texture as placeholder as a way to expand on the cloud motif. It ended up working so well and fitting the tone so well that we made this a private theater room in the sleep clinic. It evokes a nostalgic and relaxing but slightly creepy feeling which seemed to fit the game perfectly.
Yeah. It's just a set piece. That's
Hello,
really interesting.
My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. This is a notification that you have reappeared on our monitoring system
hey Nathan.
after a prolonged absence.
How you doing?
Please continue to do whatever you did most recently, and discontinue whatever you were doing immediately prior to that.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for the nodes in case I miss. I don't want to miss any because this level you could totally miss stuff.
The sound effects that probably took the most tweaking were definitely all associated with the resizable objects. For them, I had to make a collision matrix so that the sound of you dropping a box or a cube would smoothly change from its smallest to its largest size and anywhere in between. So to achieve that, there were lots of different layers of the sounds, lots of automated pitch shifting, speeding up, slowing down, lots of crossfading between different layers of the sound, and a lot of trial and error to get it feeling right inside the game.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, this door changes its own size depending on how big you are when you enter the space. This door automatically adjusts so that when you're here going through it, you will be the right size to be normal again. I've noticed that with a few of the doors at the exits of these puzzles in this like I forget what this level's actually called.
My name
The
is
like
Dr.
the
Glenn
dollhouse
Pierce.
level, that's what it's called.
In addition to continuing and discontinuing as mentioned earlier, please also disregard any unsettling
Yeah, these I love it. I think that's so well done.
Everyone
This is
should have now reverted
this is the
to being
mechanic
soothing
that
and therapeutic.
The door
If this is not
mechanic
the case,
is,
you may be receiving this
in my
message
mind,
in
definitely the
error.
most, like, crazy. The door mechanic, the like, resizing player door mechanic is definitely the most crazy in my mind. In terms of mechanics in this game. So when you come in here, you can be a variable size. So this door changes in size depending on how big you are and accommodates your size. There's another blueprint here, and there was there was originally a chess piece on top of this wall as well.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to read you my
It looks
favorite
like you go
inspirational quote
through
by me.
there, through that door, and then come out
The worst
here.
thing you can do
That's what
is
it looks
focus
like.
on negativity. It won't spare you from the cage of death.
This puzzle existed for a long time, but it took a while to figure out what the art was going to be because the bouncy castle used to just be a weird L-shaped block. Eventually, we landed on the pool motif and the bouncy castle and added a little bit where you go inside the vent.
See, I just barely fit into that door. But that now means that I'm fully door height. Yeah, these puzzles are really... these puzzles, once again, I remember struggling a bit with these ones. Or with this one. But it's such a simple solution once you know it. Okay. Actually, I might not be able to fit through the door at the end if I have it that big. There we go. It doesn't change size what everything else does. I suppose, yeah. Well, it scales with you. It scales so it's always normal human height. Because, like, I'm entering this space as, like, child size. So the door on the other
Because we have
side...
portals that you can resize, the player can freely change their own size. This actually created a design problem because you could never predict what size the player was supposed to be. And if we dynamically changed the size of the geometry later on in the level, things could break really easily. So instead, we added these portals, like this doorway over here, which changes size in order to resize you back to the normal scale of a human.
We were just talking about it.
My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce.
Changing the player size through portals has a couple of weird side effects when it comes to programming. You have the obvious ones, such as needing to change the player collider, movement speed, jump height, and mantling distance. You have a couple of less obscure ones, such as needing to change the camera's far and near clip planes, so geometry is less likely to clip through your camera as you get smaller. Another interesting one we'll talk about later. Another weird thing about player resizing is that gravity is actually constant across all sizes. So imagine you're in the perspective of an ant, and a giant shoe is coming down from the sky to step on you. That shoe in your mind might take a couple seconds, but in real life, it would be instant. Whatever size you are, large objects traveling through space should feel like they are moving slowly. So when we change the player size, we're actually also adjusting gravity in order to compensate for this as well. This is physically incorrect, but this feels better for the player.
Yeah. Okay, one second. I'm gonna do a fun thing which you don't have to do in this area at all. But I just felt like doing. It'll fall really slowly, but as soon as I pop through, it'll fall down much more normally. But yeah, this is the dollhouse we're supposed to go through. But once again, now I can like look down at the space that we started in. And I am a giant. Raw. There was a reason for doing this. There was some sort of like unlockable thing. Maybe it was a oh, it's the blueprint up here. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, perfect. See, I can barely fit through the doorway. Oh.
So that's my cat. His name is Finn, and he's a good boy. And we only had a day or two left before finishing the game,
Hello,
and we needed
my
to figure
name is
out
Dr.
what kind
Glenn
of posters
Pierce.
to put in our
Now
elevator.
I'm trying to reach you
So
regarding
I
your car's
decided to have a
extended
little bit of fun with
warranty.
it, and this is by far my favorite course. The Cardboard Lovers Association also makes a nice little nod to the Cardboard Dollhouse.
Cardboard Lover Association, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, hey, Mecha. Yeah. I love all the mechanics of this game. The resizing, the cloning, the portal doors. The portal doors are the biggest one for me.
The emergency exit protocol is the shortest lived character in the game, but my heart really goes out to him. Because just like a triangle player in an orchestra, he has precisely one job and he waits patiently for his moment to do it, only of course to have it snatched away just as that moment arrives.
Yeah.
I think many people can identify with this feeling.
Yeah. He tries to do it.
Complete. You are
It
exhibiting
fails.
signs consistent with an increase
And
in fear, hopelessness,
she
and frustration.
takes over
This
immediately.
is inconceivable, as somnasculpt therapy is proven to correlate with a decrease in these emotions.
I'm assuming there's not going to be any
Hypothesis. Patient was
nodes
improperly
here.
oriented. Conclusion. Impossible. Reformulating.
Wake up.
Improved hypothesis. Patient requires additional somnasculpt therapy. Conclusion. Emergency exit protocol cannot proceed. Emergency exit protocol has been emergency destroyed. Instruction. Continue with somnasculpt therapy indefinitely on an
Cheering on
independent
Saturday.
basis, as all orientation resources have been exhausted.
Oh,
This concludes your standard orientation protocol.
I see. That
Goodbye.
sucks. On your birthday. Yeah, there's a bunch of repeating hallways here. I doubt they're going to have any nodes here, just because you could so easily miss it. Because it gets shorter and shorter. As soon as you step out that time. Boop. And now we're on the wall. Dear. I'm kind of surprised I don't have a node here for it. But then again, I guess, once again, I kept missing this space because I kept going straight to the clock instead of doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's interesting. This mechanic was in the Museum of Simulation Technology demo thingy, tech demo thingy, jumping into a painting, but they used it a bit differently in this. Instead of going into a painted world like you do in the demo, you go into a cardboard cutout world, which is more in line with the themes of this game than the original, than the jumping into a painting thing.
My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. Thank you for completing the Somnasculpt Standard Orientation Protocol. Before you begin the first phase of therapy, I'd like to briefly describe the finite and fragile
Oh, there's a
nature of
little
the
mini
true state.
Easter egg here. If you go all the way out into here, there's a tiny mini Easter egg. No egg, but it's just a little secret that shows a few. This is actually showing snapshots of the Museum of Simulation Technology, as well as as Superliminal itself. I played the Museum of Simulation Technology on the channel as well. It is the tech demo that basically these developers made in like a press. It was like an event where they showed off this tech demo, and it wasn't supposed to be spread outside of the outside of that conference space, but someone made shared it basically. And the share link got taken down, but I actually had a copy of it already. I downloaded, back in the day when they originally made it, and it has a bunch of the levels that ended up in this game is like tech demo-y things. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you want to see more, if you want to learn more, search the Museum of Simulation Technology, especially if you search it on my channel. In fact, one of the mods, could you post the link? If you could find it on my channel, post a link to the video of the Museum of Simulation Technology.
We had all these surprise moments prototyped, and so I wondered what it would feel like if we had a whole level of surprise moments. I wanted it to be fast-paced. The working title for this level was Chase. This is the boss level of the game, basically. It's inspired by the third act of the movie Brazil, how it gets crazier and faster paced over time.
There was a chess piece in there originally. Thank you, Digits. Yeah, so if you want to check out the Museum of Simulation Technology, which is basically the tech demo version of this game, I play it right there. Yeah, thank you.
Of course, nothing is more challenging than the difficulty of changing perspective.
Yeah, you think you need this cube, but all it does is it makes you fall down this hole.
Dire trial by fire scenarios with solutions that could not be found otherwise.
Now, apparently it is possible to get into that hole in the wall there. Apparently it is possible to get into that exit. But as soon as you would normally try to do anything like that, and apparently from down here, from the base of this pit, you can get up to that exit sign, but it's just got an Easter egg in it. There's no achievement for it, it's just an Easter egg. And I'm like,
the game really goes through a significant
no thank you.
transformation, but the piano is always there to guide you.
Right.
Even as the music becomes darker and more electronic, it always has the melody, or at least a really significant role to play. It changes as you progress.
Yeah, this
through the
level is
game.
really intense.
Switch to different types of piano, starting out with a piano Bill Evans famously recorded on. Later, switching to a more modern sounding instrument. I double it with prepared piano sounds sometimes. I use felt piano, and gradually more reverbs and delays as the game evolves. But at the heart of each piece is the piano.
This level's music is way more intense than the previous levels. Oh, the YouTube tagged the game as Superliminal. Nice. Oh my god. This level is confusing. This level is very confusing. Even to me replaying the game. I think originally this worked differently. Because when I came to replay this, I had no idea what was going on. Basically, whichever way you look first is always a dead end. So you want to look the way that is opposite to the way the exit's pointing first, and then look the correct way, and that'll get you through there. If you don't do that, it resets you. Yeah, this like bridge sounds like you can hear like cars and traffic going past. It's so weird. And that door that we came through changes when you return. So let's just get up here quickly. If I look back, it's gone, but oh, now the cube's up there. As soon as you do that double take, and you come back, the door is different. I don't actually know if I can get up there. Oh, that's right. No, I did it by going like this, didn't I? I think I did it by going like that. Oh. Come on. There we go. Let's see if I've got enough height. Damn it. You can get an object further in. But basically, yeah, that door changes and there's an Easter egg at the end there instead of what you normally walked in from. And actually, this is a level that's changed in the remake. You can actually, from here, you can go like this and get up here. But there used to be a bar along here that was like like a safety bar, like these bars down here, that you could then hop on that and get up here. You didn't even need to use the cube to get up here originally. I only noticed that because a speedrunner used that. But then when I played it myself, I was like, oh, there's no bar. Yeah, if you come here, you can get a soda can. And using the soda can plus the cube, you can get to that door that I pointed out before. But, yeah, can't be bothered. This is a classic. Bloop. I think that's a really neat... I think it's a neat mechanic that I feel like they didn't use a hell of a lot. It was just like things becoming painted on the wall.
While we respect the unique progress of every patient, you must understand that it is possible to completely exhaust your supply of dreams, thereby entering a state
Easter
in
egg.
which you will not be able to wake up, even with the help of triggering mechanisms.
Yeah, this is an Easter egg. This is the only Easter egg I found purely by myself. Every other Easter egg, I had some help.
The original idea for Labyrinth was to explore earlier areas, but with a new spin on them. Sometimes it was a matter of adding new interactive moments to turn things on their head, while for others, we would take existing locales and give them a new lick of paint and set dressing. Something familiar, yet fresh and unexpected.
That instability is perfect for the mood and for general world building too. Conceptually, different patients will be bringing different experiences with them into the dream state, and we wanted to reflect that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to get up to here. Please use other door. But you can because... Oh, what's the time? Oh, good. We're making good progress. You can... because I brought the Easter egg with me, I'm actually able to get up there. Normally, as soon as you grab this, the world shifts. Oh, and that reminds me, we haven't found one yet. This is the only... Throughout the whole game, I found one Constellation Room, and it was here. I kind of almost forgot.
So one day, for whatever reason, I was looking up reference material for astral planes on the internet, and one of the results was the astral plane that appears in the TV show The OA. And at the same time, we were trying to figure out different optical illusions that we could use for the Easter eggs that were different from the main gameplay.
Yeah.
And the astral plane in the OA has stars and a reflective floor, and so that was kind of the inspiration for the star rooms here.
The TV show
And
The OA.
The goal for these was that they would be hidden in plain sight, so you could play through the game and not even notice them if you're not being careful and observant. But if you look around, then you might find one.
Yeah, and this is like a... I didn't know what this was.
Try to fit into the game narrative is that Dr. Pierce, while designing these dream levels, it's a lot of work, so occasionally he would need to take a break, just lie down, close his eyes, meditate a bit, and so he hid these star rooms in the levels that potentially only he could find. And it kind of reminded me, I've been to MoMA in New York once, and they had a relaxation room that was kind of dark, and people could lie on the ground and look up at, I don't know, projected things on the walls. And that was kind of like the visual thing I was going for.
Yeah, it's like a planetarium with the stars and stuff. But yeah, I didn't know what this was. I thought it was like a coffee maker or something. And when you normally find these, it makes like a solid object appear, and then like does like an outline thing, and then the object like explodes and disappears. Turns out it's a moon projector. It projects an image of the moon onto a wall or onto a surface. That was the very first and only constellation I found by myself. They're really well hidden. This is the only one. The only reason I found this one is I was wandering around the room and I fell into the hole, and I was like, what the heck? Most of the rest of them are in like dark corners of the levels and are a little tricky to find. Yeah, another area. There's another area that's like the same as a previous area, except in order to change, you gotta like lift up and then drop down that cube. Boop. Of course, you can go backwards. There's a fire alarm there you can miss. This is a variation on 2 rooms. There's a clock, but also this was the half cube room. Boop.
So when I joined the project, this infinite elevator sequence wasn't actually infinite. It was just a very large block of, I don't know, 20 by 10 elevators. And the performance, as a result, wasn't very good.
Oh.
The illusion could be ruined if you walked all the way to one side. So one of the things I did was actually make it infinite. So there's a much smaller block of real elevators, and the player gets teleported seamlessly by portals on each end. And so the end result is an infinite elevator sequence that you can just go in one direction forever.
Right, yeah. That's an interesting spot. See, we got some chairs in front of a clock. Boom. Depending on where you're, depending on what way you're looking, this gets projected differently.
Automatically play if you are approaching a destabilizing dream weight.
Wasn't there an ending in Stanley Parable that looked kind of like this? Yeah, I think, yes, it was. There was one. I think, maybe it did, the inspiration did come from that. There we go. Once you corner yourself in the room so that all the walls are now like solid, you turn back and there's this space. And can I get up here on this side, or do I have to go from the other side? I think I have to go from a specific side. I think it's this side. Once again, just found it. It's just another blueprint spot. Yeah, like stuff like that is. It wouldn't surprise me if they got inspiration from the likes of Stanley Parable, because Stanley Parable has a lot of this. Like, it has the spatial mechanics, but it doesn't have the, of course, the like grabbing and.
It appears you have
doesn't have the like grabbing
Coming
and
up with the way to
perspective.
actually make the portal and a portal make sense for the player was a really tough problem. And we iterated on this for weeks with input from all different team members. So it was really a group effort. But it was important to get it right, because this is one of the pivotal moments in the game.
Mm.
And then another thing we had to do was figure out how to make the world degrade in a way that fit with the game's look and feel.
Yeah.
And one day while prototyping, I just happened to accidentally assign a light map texture to one of the walls in the room, and I really liked the way it looked. Light map textures are textures generated by the engine offline to help with realistic lighting. So anyway, we ended up using this. So when the world degrades, the shafts of light breaking through the walls into the rooms, and that effect is actually driven by a light map texture from one of the other levels.
Hmm. Yeah, so to start with, this level you can't go through, this door is bricked off. But as soon as you, step through here for the first time,
Diagnostic warning. Unrealistic
suddenly
dream objects may result in dream
suddenly
integrity
you can
fail
go
state.
back through there however you want. But I'm just going to quickly do something in case. I doubt that they'll put a node there, but just in case. Whee. Nah, I'm the size of a toy. There's this little like, oh, I'm too big. I'm too big to fit in. Shit. That's something I never noticed. I feel like it either wasn't there when I played the original, or I just totally missed it when I played the original, because yeah, try that. Yeah, happy coincidences. Small. I am a small bean. Oh, I barely made it through. Yeah, there's this whole room in here. There's this whole like bar in here with stuff in it. I was like, I kind of got, my mind was, it warped my brain for a second when I realized. But But once again, in here, this used to be this spot right here used to be a chess piece. So the fact that it's not there, and I can't click on it, really cements the idea that, what the, oh, the piano, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was blown away by that little secret.
Warning. Paradox prevention protocols may not be fully implemented.
Boop. No, it's paradox time.
Please paradox from creating any refrains. Explosive dream overload may result. Please paradox overload.
Yeah, so this text just here with the like beams of light coming through. That's from a previous level. That's really cool. Oh, I forgot to show off there's another secret in this room that I forgot about. Damn it. It's all good. It's a very minor, like mini secret. It's not really, no big deal. Yeah.
This spatio-temporal moment of wonder is brought to you by the very long but invisible rectangular portals tucked behind these empty windows.
Yes.
Looking out into other parts of the level you may soon travel to.
Yeah, yeah. The little snippets, the little snapshots of later levels. Well, later spaces within the same level. Not an exit, it says. Yeah, this level's super weird. I remember just like stumbling my way through this space when I originally played the game. Because it is kind of just like a weird white space and then weird dark spaces.
Hello, my name
This
is
final
Dr.
level was designed with the idea of removing depth perception entirely. All the visuals are flattened.
Found myself in a place where
Right.
I understood that each of us begins as nothing.
Another blueprint.
Where everything I perceived was shaped by seeing it exactly the way I wanted to. White space.
Yeah. Yeah, like unlike previous parts of the game where I was like trying to actively solve puzzles, this whole section I remember just stumbling through, having no idea what I'm doing. To the point where a few of the puzzles I actually just kind of broke. Rather than actually solve them, I broke them. I'm gonna show one of them right just up ahead. I think people might have even got a little mad at me for this one of these for this one that I'm about to show, just because I know the exits and I know exactly where I'm supposed to go. I know exactly what I'm doing now, rather than before when I didn't know anything. Now we're looking at old stuff. We're looking at... Actually, I didn't check the room to see if there was a node in there. I shouldn't be so blasé and zoom through. Wait. Go back this way. This room is a potential node room. Nope. Nope, no nodes. It sounds like I'm trying to say nose, but I've got like a blocked nose. No nodes. Yeah, this is the previous area where it was dark with white windows. Now we're white with dark windows. Wonder if this game took inspiration from Prey. In what way? You walk through and suddenly it's an object. Yeah, Prey was... I really loved Prey. Prey was really cool. I'm just curious what parts of Prey you're thinking of.
But in white space, I also faced the greatest challenge I could
Since the
imagine.
universe that the players inhabit is seemingly created in almost a kit-bash way while within Somnosculpt, it was a unique challenge to show the players truly a peek behind the curtains of the system. A blank canvas, a scratch document, an empty sticky note with some notes, little things creatively interspersed throughout. I think I derived some of the inspiration for what happens when you're playing a VR game and suddenly the game crashes to a totally white space. That feeling of disorientation, even though you understand the world around you is an illusion.
This is apparently a mini Easter egg. It's the Inception spinny top. It's the spinning top from Inception, if people know that movie. Anyway, it do look like a spoopy game, yo. Didn't pray involve a set. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. It did. You're right. Just walking through walls like it's nothing. There's another secret. There's another Easter egg in this level, and there's actually something in that building up there, in that space up there.
You're well beyond dreaming now, and further out than anyone has ever come back from. But we hope that you won't get discouraged. After all, if this is a place of pure perspective, isn't it also a place?
I'll come
where a
back and
different
show you
point of
that
view
secret.
can make anything possible? Isn't that why you came here?
Yeah. There's an Easter egg in that previous area that yeah, there's an Easter egg in that previous area that it's super easy to get to from another location. Yeah, this one I figured out. This one I was like super confused by, but I figured it out in the end. As long as there's something on the block space, you don't fall through. If you try and walk on a space on a square that doesn't have anything on it, you just fall through it. Yeah, there definitely was an element, Zach. The starting sequence of the game was all like just a film set. So this is the level that I cheesed when I originally did it. What I did is I just used a mechanic that's not intentional, and that is that basically grabbing and making the box bigger just by basically I just slowly resized the cube until I got up to the door. You can do it. It's a little tricky, but you can do it. It's possible. But as it turns, because if you try and go through this door, it's it's blocked. And I was like, what the heck? It's the reverse of the previous puzzle. I didn't realize at the time when I originally played this puzzle. Didn't realize it was the reverse of the previous puzzle. And then if you try and go back now as well, you can't go back. But you grab the cheese and you place it through and suddenly there's space there. It's just the reverse of the previous puzzle, but I just did not get it when I first played this. And I cheesed my way through the puzzle, and pretty sure people were kind of annoyed at me when they saw how I did it. They're like, no, that's not the right solution. Oh well. Whoa. Yeah, no, it's pretty early on in the game that you discover that. It's that's like Act 2, where Act 1 is the sequence where you're in a false reality. That's it. That's basically the end of the game. But there's a whole retrospective level, which will probably get a bunch of nodes in. If they even bother with nodes. They might not even bother with the nodes, they might just... override the speech.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and by now you may have realized that all of this has happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
This last section was something that Logan and I worked together on for a really long time. When I first saw it, I had this great feeling for how it could be like a really nice, impactful moment. And so I got this really kind of awe-inspiring, inspirational music to put behind it. And Logan absolutely hated it. I stuck to my guns and asked him to stick with it for a while and play it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and see how things went. And he ended up totally coming around to my side of thinking. Initially, we were unsure if we went for this kind of pure feeling that it would just be really hokey. And I ended up reading this essay on television written by David Foster Wallace. And it really kind of encouraged me to kind of get over that sort of postmodern, too cool for anything aesthetic, and to just really go gung-ho into sort of rewarding you for ending the game by giving you something really nice.
Right.
This level was created early on. I liked the idea of giving the player some time to think about their journey rather than ending the game immediately, and I knew film-like cuts would be perfect for revisiting their experience through the game. Chris initially suggested a song for reference, and at first I hated it. I kept listening to it though, and eventually grew to love the song. Matt came up with a track that is even better than the reference material, and it fit perfectly.
Your life will always be a struggle, and you will always have problems. But today, you have the chance to see things differently. Even though it meant facing obstacles that seemed impossible at first, you thought outside the box, and you overcame them.
Yeah.
Because you saw things from every angle, you understood them for what they really were. Because you kept moving forward, no matter how far off the path you were told you were headed, or how unexpected it became.
So basically, the whole game, while the game's acting like you're outside of the space you're supposed to be. This is the part that sort of reveals that no, everything went as intended. This is the Somnosculpus experience. Like, nothing was wrong. They tried to make it seem like something was wrong, and that you were outside the experience. So the experience was broken. There's all this like restarts and protocols and all this, that, and the next thing. But yeah, no, this is intentional.
You'll be back in the real world, and some part of you will say that none of this was real. So how could it have really meant anything? But just like the power of perspective itself, it will have been as real as you believed it to be.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is wait up.
And I just got the biggest fan achievement for finishing the developer commentary. Get ready for the monster they added. Yeah, that was Superliminal developer commentary. Yeah, really cool. This is a really unique game, really cool experience.
That's the game.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening all the way through. If you did that.
Thank you for exploring our dreamy environments. I love you.
The models, textures, avocados, let's see, materials, rubber duck, apples. I think that's all of the art.
And thanks for enjoying the music and sound.
And the writing.
And the code that holds everything together.
Yeah, such a small indie team working on such a cool game. 10 out of 10, brilliant work, team. Yeah. Like, holy shit.
Are we going to talk about the design goal of this level?
Please, do.
The goal was to show you who made the game.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, such a small team made such a cool game. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Hello.
Warning, the average adult can only withstand 3 to 5 hellos per night.
3 to 5 hellos per night. In all serious, I wonder how this game mechanic would work with something horror or spooky themed. Right. I mean, we saw a little bit of that with the dark area.
Hello, Dr. Glenn Pierce. This is clearly
They kept it
intentional.
pretty light overall.
Why do I feel like everything is
But,
going wrong?
Noted, Dr. Pierce.
Yeah, it would. I think because of the
Warning. This is
puzzle
extremely
style
rude.
of or the puzzle, because of how like puzzle oriented the mechanic is, I think it might be difficult to implement it in a horror game,
My name is.
in a purely horror game.
My name is.
Yeah,
Insignificant.
Pillow Castle. Such a cool name. Such a cool name for a team working on a game like this. Such a perfect name.
Anyway, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to thank you
This is respectful.
This game accepts
because you saw things from every angle.
an immortal snail is slowly moving
found
towards
your
you, and
way.
if it hits you, you die and restart.
Congratulations.
Oh
Congratulations.
my god.
You're now headed in the right direction.
There's a few levels though that really do take a while to think them through. If you don't already know the solution. So that existential dread of the constant looming threat of the immortal snail would be upsetting. Yeah. But yeah, just really quickly. First of all, I have a bunch of extra like options in the menu. There's this little exit sign which allows you to move around the menu. And this is the object that I found. This is that constellation that I showed you. It's literally a moon projector. It's the only constellation I found by purely by myself. I thought it was a coffee maker. There is multiplayer in this game, yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce.
That's all it says. The multiplayer mode, you can either do co-op, and there's a little trophy that's like a thank you for finishing the game. There's a Tester of the Year, 1991. It has the like loading bars. And then there's, what else is there? Wait, if I go back to my menu. Yeah, so there's a Battle Royale mode. I don't know how that works. There's a co-op mode where you can play through the story with multiple people. Once again, don't know how that works. Apparently it's brand new. It's a new thing. It was a newer edition. Yeah. There's also challenge mode, which I have not done. I could do that in another stream at some point. There's also a workshop, which is it's pretty iffy. It's not super well implemented. There's also a little fire alarm thing you can pull if I scoot over. There's a little fire alarm thing you can pull, and then if I go and do this, there's just like a particle effect thing blasting. But also, if I go select level, I think it's clone. I really quickly do this. I'm gonna ignore that. No, it's not clone. Is it Dollhouse? One of these levels, you start in a slightly different place. Yeah, it's Dollhouse. Here we go. There's a room with all the avocados and stuff. This is all the blueprints. These are all the blueprints from throughout the game. This is how you can tell which ones you're missing, because this thing has them all listed. If I now really quickly just go through here, go past the like relaxation room. It is a really nice relaxation room.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. This
Go
is a
through here
notification
to the
that
usual
appears
lobby.
on our monitoring system
This is
of
all the
prolonged
chess pieces
absence.
you can find throughout the game.
Please continue.
If you click on the screen, once you find all the chess pieces, you get a little bonus. Yeah, I love this loading screen where the bar keeps like extending in different directions.
Welcome back, Dr.
You load into
Pierce.
this room.
It's your move.
And you have to checkmate the red player as blue player. So what you do is you
Analyzing possible moves. Calculating win probability. Analysis complete. I must resign. Congratulations, Dr. Pierce. You win.
Yay! But if you hop out this window, you're back in the city area from like the late game. I tried to use this as a speedrunning tactic to get the like under half an hour completing the game thing. So I started the game, and then as soon as I could get to one of those monitors, I clicked it, loaded into here, and then finished the game. Doesn't count. But here's the Easter egg. The Easter egg in the city area. You can bring it with you, but yeah, this is that crazy effect. Such a little smiley face. It's funny because there's an achievement with this smiley face as well, and to get the achievement, it's so vague. It says in multiple guides that you're supposed to just pick up an object and then just sit there for like 2 minutes, and it gives you the achievement. But I just got the achievement when I was just playing the game. Like, I didn't try to get it. It just gave it to me randomly, and I wasn't even holding anything when it gave it to me. So I'm like, I don't have any clue how that achievement is actually supposed to be got. Here it is. You can walk through here. And yeah, we're like in the end game area. We can literally just like continue back through again and do this again. We have a little smiley Easter egg.
Discouraged. After all, if this is a place of pure perspective, isn't
I wonder if we can do this with the Easter egg.
Where a different point of view could make anything possible.
Oh.
Isn't that why you came here?
Ah, I fell. But yeah, anyway, we'll leave that there. Yeah, let me know if you wanted to see me do the challenge mode, because I have no idea what the challenge mode will be. I'm assuming it's just different variations of the levels in like harder variations. So yeah, I'd be very keen to try this out to see what it has to offer. So yeah, let me know in the comments or in the live chat now if you'd like to see that in a future stream. I might be horribly stuck, but it'll be very interesting. Because I know the game inside and out, so I can finish it so quick, but the challenge mode will be like a whole stream of me struggling with like the first section. Oh dear. So yeah, that'd be cool. Rory gets brain hurty stream. Yeah. I gotta remember that. The brain hurty. Brain hurty. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get going. I gotta get moving. So very soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this return to Superliminal for the developer commentary. I hope you guys are gearing up for development for next week. I've been trying to work on some projects of my own. Like, I'm still trying to think of what I want to actually do for the jam, but brain hurt means it's working. Yeah. I'm still trying to think of what I want to do for the jam. But in the meantime, I'm just like refamiliarizing myself with Unity, just doing random projects that are completely unrelated. Yeah. Whereas last time I kind of came up with a theme because I had an idea for a game, and I was like, oh, I could make that theme work with that idea. This time I came up with a theme first to be a bit more balanced. But now I'm like, crap, what do I actually want to make for the theme? I have a bunch of ideas, but I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to make those things. And part of me kind of want to make a 3D game this time, rather than my usual 2D stuff. So I think I'm gonna ask for some help for some people, so I can focus in on the 3D stuff. The Return YouTube Dislike extension was updated. Oh crap! I've not updated mine in a long time. Mine still seems to work without updating. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you in a couple days for the next stream. And the next stream could be anything. I have not yet planned it, so I hope you guys are excited to see what I'm about to stream next. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next stream. Bye. Alright, bye guys.